Bonjour everyone, welcome to another diecast showcase. So today's video will be a Friday finds video. Did my rounds at the thrift stores and managed to conjure up some fairly cool, unusual also diecast that I'll be adding to the collection. Also managed to find a couple cars that are duplicates but that are in better condition, some vintage stuff. And, I'll take the time also to show you some other stuff that I found that is kind of good, but that I'm not going to be retaining in the collection, and that's going to go into the for sale for trade pile. So, first and foremost, let's start with the stuff that I won't be keeping. Got this little Maisto Porsche 356 convertible. Unfortunately, I will not be retaining it because the rear bumper is broken, as you can see. Pretty good casting, though, if you forego the wheels. And I believe I have this one carded, if I'm not mistaken. So that one's not going to be staying in the collection since that bumper is broken. I also found... And this, I find it kind of cool, although, it's very cheap die cast and whatnot. I found it kind of cool because it's tiny. We got this tiny little vet, and it's seemingly a C4, early C4. And based on the rear end, if you look at the shape of the lights, this is definitely ZR1. So pretty cool little piece, but yeah, not something that I definitely not something I feel like keeping in the collection. So this one's also going to be going to the not keeping pile. Speaking of Corvettes, this probably late 90s Yatming, when they were extremely cheapified before the company like this, pretty much went under. So they were doing very El Cheapo castings at that point, but still fairly accurate looking. This is another non-ZR1 C4, early C4, round lights as opposed to the squared out ones. And of course the, well, it's not lights in this case, but the front lights in that front fascia are not wraparound. So obviously it's a pre-90s vet. So that one is not going to be kept. And I did have that one as a kid. Duplicate of one that I do have in slightly better condition that I won't be keeping, but still a very cool little casting. Again, still a Yatming, the infamous number 808 S13 180/200/240 SX. It's a very good casting, nice little details, and we'll be able to get a better view. Another piece that I found. But yeah, so this one I have in absolutely minty condition. Tampos on the roof of this one got a little rub there, so this one's not going to be retained, but it's still a very cool, very desirable casting, and it makes a great custom. So, and it is actually true 164, which is kind of awesome. Another casting here that this one I'm not sure what actual make and model of car it's supposed to represent, but this is one that I had as a kid that I still have to this day. And found another one, this little sedan, kind of maybe Opel Vectra or Vauxhall Vectra, something like that. It could be either or, because these don't even have dashboards, so it could be left or right hand drive. This is no hand drive because there's no steering, but yeah, I find the proportions are good. It's got lens fronts, and okay cast details in the rear, so interesting little piece. Now another little white sedan of a slightly older vintage, so slightly more robust construction. We have this little Mercedes-Benz 190E, baby Benz, based on the wing. It's probably a 2.3 16 valve with the little Cosworth breathed on engine. Suspension's a little bit tired in the front, but in the rear, it is pretty solid. So, yeah, another late Yatming. Oh, yeah, see, 16 valve, Group A. It's definitely, yeah, it's a 2.316 for sure. A non-Evo one, basically. Um, the three last ones that I'm not going to be retaining, but I'm still going to show you, are actually ones that are being replaced. In the case of the first two that we're going to check out, and the last one is just a duplicate of one I already have. So yeah, so one that I found, I don't know, half a dozen times probably. This darn Chevy Citation Coupe with the boom livery. This is the one I did have. You know, a little bit of chrome missing on that front fascia. You know, overall, you know, a couple flea bites here and there, but it's is this? It's not even written Yatming on it, but it is a Yatming. But it's kind of got several pieces in its construction. You got one beige piece for the interior, obviously the metal body, the plastic black base, and the front and rear chrome inserts for the lights, which is pretty cool. So, yep, this was the seat warmer, and now I have a replacement, so you can imagine that it's in better condition. And same applies for this, I believe this is a Ford Granada, if I'm not mistaken. European market, larger sedan. And yeah, so this one's definitely seen better days paint-wise, and again, seat warmer that now has had its spot taken away from it, so this one is going to leave the collection. And again, you know, multi-piece construction. So you got the lens lights, you got the, you know, funny, perfect star, all that stuff. It's kind of funny. Either way, not being retained. You know, a lot of paint missing on this one. Last piece that I won't be retaining because I already have one that's in slightly better condition is this Majorette Corvette, another C4. Lots of Corvettes. It's got an insert from the interior for the rear lights. It's got suspension, those super wide racing wheels. So there you go, 1/57th scale. And you've got the opening doors. So there you go. But yeah, a lot of paint missing. Mine's in slightly better conditions. Got a little bit less rub on the paint and a lot less chips. So this one is not staying with us. So that's the stuff I'm not keeping. Now, in the stuff that I did retain for the collection, I'm going to show you the two only new on-card pieces that I picked up from pharmacy. They're both Maisto Fresh Metal. Actually, no, it's not a pharmacy. It's a Giant Tiger, kind of like a liquidation store. A smaller version of Walmart, basically, that we have in Canada. They pulled out this really old Fresh Metal case from 2018, basically, and for whatever reason. And yeah, basically, one the casting that I wanted and I did not have yet is this new Bronco, a 3-door, just the tampos in the front and in the rear, and you know, a little bit of black for the door handles and the badge on that front fender. And yeah, two-tone, that grayish blue with the black top, spare on the back. You know, picked up the old version not too long ago, which is this one, so that'll make a nice pair. And you can see the difference in card art as well, old versus new. The older one is a 2022 release, whereas the newer one here is 2018 license on the back of the card. So there you go. Pretty cool duo right there. And the last Maisto Fresh Metal that I picked up, felt like picking it up with all the, you know, the releases Hot Wheels is doing, you know, Bumblebee and whatnot. So went ahead and I'm going to call this one Bargain Bee, I guess. You know, dollar car, and not the greatest wheels, but the casting itself is not horrible. You know, it's got the lights, front and rear. It's got the chrome bumpers that are part of the chrome base, as you can see. And it's got that textured base, so this is obviously very old casting. Probably a couple decades old. So, yeah, nice little piece, you know, happy about that. There you go, new stuff. Now, if we're talking about older stuff. So you probably noticed the amount of older Yatmings that I picked. There's a lot of Yatmings that I managed to score in this little haul. So we'll start off with one that I am really not sure actually what model of car it is. Again, you guys can throw down in the comments your best guesses on what this car is. It kind of has a rear end vibes of a Mondeo, Ford Mondeo, but the front doesn't really give me Mondeo vibes. But here it is, little green car, four-door sedan, pretty sedate, and it's yeah, the final Yatming's being produced before just going out of business, I guess. It's got lens lights in the front. Give me slightly Honda EG vibes on the front a little bit. I don't know. Maybe like a Honda Concerto or something like that we didn't get here, but who knows? I'm not really sure what car it is, but there you go. It is a car, and it's in the collection. Another Yatming, and this one is really smaller scaled, basically, but I find it's cool. I had it as a kid, and it's of a car that I really like. So we've got this third gen Firebird, written Blackbird. It's got the big eagle on the front. We got the Blackbird again on that little trunk. A little bit of abrasion on the tampo here, kind of textured, but all in all, there's no paint missing. It's pretty okay. But again, it's very cheap and made in China. But it's from this. This is a car I had as a kid, so I thought, why not keep it? If we stay in the same type of era of Yatming, I did manage to find this 8 Series BMW. It actually has M Power written on the hood, so that's pretty cool. It's clearly an 8 Series. Very, very easy to see through the cast details. Kidneys on the front, which is a separate little chrome piece, and same for those front lights, as you can see. But yeah, pretty cool little casting. Now, I did show you that white Mercedes 190E that I'm not keeping. The reason why I'm not keeping it is because I actually got an alternate color in better condition suspension wise. So there you go. That one's definitely going to be retained. I find this is definitely cool. It's not a casting you see a whole lot of, and when you do, most of the time it's going to be the infamous Evo 2 version with the flared fenders, the big wing, and the very much more accentuated front chin and everything like that. So I find that's cool. I also managed to get a alternate color variation of number 808. This one in perfect condition tampo wise. So yep, this one in red. This is actually pink. Kind of look like they're the same color, but it's a kind of like a light red and a dark pink. So very close in color, but not quite the same. So happy to have a black and now a red one of these. To go with it. In the bag also was this FC Mazda RX-7 in purple. It's got the hood scoop, so it's a turbo, 13BT, rotary, very thick pillars here for that rear window. It's definitely nowhere near even like a mainline Hot Wheels, of course, but these have kind of like a nostalgic vibe, nostalgic flavor, so I like it. Also managed to get a R139 Mercedes SL. No indication of the engine under the hood, so it could be a 6, a 8, a 12, who knows? But yeah, pretty much similar to that 8 Series in its construction. Separate piece for that front fascia, and same Yatming wheels. One that I did find that's actually possibly not a Yatming because it's not exactly the same, but it could be a Yatming, and it kind of looks like it based on the design. I actually managed to find this Toyota Previa or Estima, depending on where you are in the world. And lens lights, kind of like a safari hunting outdoorsy type of deco on there. It's in the hunting camp. 3 rows and that white interior. It's a right-hand drive. You know, it's not like there's a whole bunch of these the castings of these vans, so you know that's pretty cool. You know, the mid-engined 2.4, potentially all-wheel drive. But then this one does look like it is all-wheel drive because it's got the transfer case, both drive shafts, and all that good stuff. So all-wheel drive might be supercharged, never know. But yeah, overall, a little curio. Let's see. I also picked up one that is not based on a Yatming to my knowledge, but you know, it's kind of a cool casting overall. Look at this Lamborghini Miura. Nice cast details. It's in turbo on the front, turbo Miura. That's different. You know, it's not awesome, but it's kind of cool. So I'm not super sure I'm going to keep in the collection because I do have a few Miuras, so I don't know if I really need this one. Plus the wheels are run me a Zylmex wheels, Zylmex I think, yeah, Zylmex wheels. I don't know exactly. It could be a Zylmex. I don't know. Either way, this I still have to figure out if I'm going to keep or not. So I'm not going to put it in the lineup for now. I am, however, for sure keeping this one. This one I do not know what the brand is, honestly. And again, if you guys know, please chime in the comments. But look at this, first gen Toyota Sequoia. Definitely not the best casting of the model, but I mean, how many castings of this model is there, you know? Not a whole lot. So it's pretty much fully detailed, including the roof rack. So that's pretty cool. Clear windows, obviously left-hand drive, lighter beige interior. It's got 3 rows of seats as well that completely block the rear view of the car, which is funny. And yeah, here's your base. It's just written Toyota Sequoia on the bottom and made in China. So there you go, another Toyota for the Toyota Horde, which is huge. Yeah, so ones that for sure are Yatmings. Show you those. I got this cool little flat nose cement mixer. Looks like it's around 1/87th scale, you know, between 1/85th and 1/100th scale, something around there. So Yatming. This rotates. It's complete. It's not missing any parts, so thought I'd keep that. Yeah. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Yeah. Cool little JDM truck. Managed to pick up this pretty much all there little Jeep. This is not broken, which is a miracle. Still has its glass, which is another miracle in itself. The only thing that's missing is the spare. Literally, the only thing that's missing is the spare. But overall, you know, I don't know if these came with a roof, a detachable roof or something like that. But I mean, look at the condition of the paint, the tampo work. Pretty darn good nick, if you ask me. I'm, again, not sure if I'm going to keep that one, but one that I'm definitely keeping because I'm starting to get a fleet of these, and it's definitely not the first one that I'm going to show you. The infamous Ford-looking van from Yatming in orange with some very cartoony mud splatter on the side. The little window in the back, you know, very popular during the custom van craze. And yeah, so got a few of those, to say the least. Definitely a few of those. Another one that I have quite a few of is this little square body flare side pickup, short bed, single cab. I did not have this in blue with the gold and light blue stripe, but you know, overall great condition. The bed is a little bit tarnished, but that's pretty much it. I mean, all the paint's there and all that good stuff. So, you know, happy to add that to the collection. Now here are your replacement mint condition cars that are replacing. First and foremost, the Citation, and this is like immaculate condition. See, no missing chrome, no missing paint, no flea bites, no tampos. I mean, literally, the only flea bites are slight on the lip here of this little rear deck spoiler. See, that's the only missing paint on this whole casting. Oh, well, yeah, there's a couple of little flea bites on the corner of the bumper, but you really have to look for them. So, but yeah, definitely happy to get a replacement of this. But the one that I'm really happy about, and keep in mind the condition the one that we already saw was in. Look at this. How clean this is. Look at this paint. Look at this shimmer. Look at the metallic in there. Perfect star. Yeah. The only thing that I can see, and this might be manufacturing defect, slight little piece of tampo missing on those the stripes right before that sunroof. But I mean, look at this overall. The windows are ultra clear. They're not all scratched up. You can see the inserted lights better. Nothing gnawed up on the plastic. You know, really like perfect condition. Perfect condition. So happy about that one too. Now one from my childhood, and this is when the Yatmings were really good in my opinion. You've got this C1 Vet. This is like a 57 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 56, 57 before the 58 went to the quad round front lights. There is the tiny bumperette here that is broken off, as you can see, but I mean my childhood one was pretty much like that as well. But I mean, look at the scallops are all there. This one has opening doors, very hard to open, but they open. Got just some air passing through that giant steering wheel that's very inclined, but steering wheels were big at that point because power steering was an option. And again, a little tiny piece of bumper missing here. So, but overall, pretty good condition. And this one has a metal base and is identified as a Yatming. So this one I'm going to keep for sure because that's very nostalgic to me. And one that I actually had a super ultra mega beat up version of that now I have an almost immaculate version of is this really cool C3 Corvette with the suspension, with the opening doors, and with the metal base. This one is not identified as a Yatming though, but it is a Yatming. I mean, it's pretty clear in the way it's constructed, especially when you put it next to the red Corvette right there. I think that's pretty much all the Yatming. We're going to jump into a couple majorette cars I found. First majorette car. This one is going to be a work in progress. It's a plastic bodied metal based Ferrari Testarossa. And the rear axle is kind of it's not knackered, it's just like out of place. So I'm going to have to find a way to get that back into its spot so as to have it roll again. But yeah, not identified as a Ferrari because at that point Majorette had lost the Ferrari license. But it's not branded as a Nova car. It is actually branded as a Majorette, whereas this is typically Nova car construction. Either the steering wheel is broken or it never had one. But yeah, red on beige, so that too. I'm not, you know, am I actually going to keep, because I have a few Testarossas already, so I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it, but either way, we'll have to see. All right, what else are we going to look at here? Yeah, so Majorette. Oh yeah, my most favorite Majorette find that I managed to acquire is this E36 BMW 325i. It's got the lens lights, the separate bumper pieces in gray plastic that are part of the interior. Windows are all intact. Paint has seen better days, but overall pretty good condition for the time period. Opening doors. Definitely not the worst majorette for wear. And here's your metal base, where you can see this thing has some suspension that works very well still, as normally metal-based majorettes tend to have. I'm definitely happy to get this one, a 325i, so 2.5 liter straight 6. Great. And last majorette. Is it the last? Yeah, it's the last majorette. Last majorette that we're going to be looking at. This is kind of a weird find, well, at least to me, because I believe this is out of a 5-pack, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, we've got the well, now I think it's still the current gen Megane RS. Either way, very cool. Lens fronts, matte black paint with the green detailing, lime green interior. Here's the rear with the opening hatch. Of course, it's a majorette, so it does have suspension. And yeah, good looking little car. Here's your base, Thailand production. And this is a, what is it, 163, I think. Megane RS, and yeah, 163rd scale. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Unusual, to say the least. I don't find a lot of modern majorette and grab bags, so that's pretty cool. Alright, so I did find a couple Hot Wheels. Managed to secure my third Selena 7. This is in the clean silver livery. It's not perfect, it's not mint, but it's in pretty decent condition. Of course, it being silver, much more forgiving if we're talking about flea bites or them being apparent, except for that wing, which is not surprising. So no tampos in the back, nice light tampos in the front, great 3D effect on there. The black lip that's part of the base, which here it is, 2001 copyright. Pretty cool. I did also manage, staying in the exotics for a little bit, did manage to score this Ferrari 308 GTB. I think this was a color shifter. The enamel paint has chipped off, and that's pretty common for these late 70s, early 80s color shifters. So, but yeah, beige interior, Rosa Corsa paint, and this one has a 1977 metal base with a Malaysia construction and some type of very shimmery whatever that is on there. But yeah, so it's definitely not great condition, but it's pretty nice. So now I have a metal and a plastic based one, which is pretty cool. Next, oh yeah, I picked up a couple of heavy Chevys. Love my heavy Chevys. And speaking of heavy, look at this 56 Chevy pickup here. This thing weighs a ton, a lot of metal. Oh boy, yeah, sorry about that. 1991 Thailand base. Nice older truck. Cool paint scheme with the vintage auto parts, free delivery. So in here, Tony and Noah's vintage auto parts with the staggered 5 spokes. So a little bit of a newer one, but still great. This is one I'm really happy to pick up because not only is it almost mint, but it's probably in my favorite colorway. And I mean, this casting I love, and I pick up as many as I can when new releases come out of it, and if I manage to score older ones as well. The 70 Chevelle SS wagon. Look at this in the gold with the black stripes. So nice. It's a big one. Big wagon. So that's definitely cool. I definitely like this casting a lot. So this one has a Malaysia base. No copyright date though, but yeah, look at that shiny base. Again, 5 spokes, staggered. And the last Hot Wheels we're gonna check out, the last one I am retaining, is somewhat of a rare casting for Hot Wheels and in general. Look at this, guys. a Hyundai Genesis Coupe. Definitely modified because it's got that vented hood. It's got the Y5 wheels, or whatever they're called. No tampons on the back. Nice front lights. The Hyundai grille. I think this is only my third Hyundai in the collection, honestly. I've got a Majorette rally car, i20. I've got a Mini GT Elantra N. And yeah, now I've got this one, Genesis Coupe. So that's pretty cool. I like the livery. It's not ostentatious. You know, it's very tuner era. 2010 Hyundai Genesis Coupe. And it's got, here's your base. It's got a Malaysia base. And yeah, there you go. Copyright 2010, actually. It's not necessarily 2010 Genesis Coupe, but the copyright was in 2010. So that's pretty awesome. We'll finish off with 3 slightly larger scale cars. First and foremost, did manage to score this immaculate condition Burago 458 Spider Ferrari. Nice detailing throughout. Burago has always had the Ferrari license, being Italian diecast producer. Haven't been in the diecast game for decades. Kind of understand why, but this thing is immaculate. No dings whatsoever anywhere. I mean, the only one that I could potentially find is maybe the tiniest little flea bite on the edge of that driver's side rearview mirror. You know, wheels are far from amazing. We'll be honest about that. But overall, and this is like probably a 150th-ish scale car. So very, very good looking. Nice blue. I love my Ferraris in any color but red. So, well, they still look good in red, obviously, but this is the kind of stuff. I mean, this is looks like Tour de France blue or something like that. Nice Daytona style seats. Very, very cool car. So I'm happy to pick up this one, definitely. There we go. And also in approximately the same scale, this is a Mattel release. We've got the Fast and Furious 56 Ford Victoria. This was in the Cuba race scene. This is with the bad guy car that Dom raced against in his very deconstructed Chevy Fleetline. Pretty clean, pretty clean. Paint's all there, and I mean, these have really good quality paints as well. So, and again, you know, about 1/50th scale, I'm gonna guesstimate. So this is cool to add to the collection, because now this is my third one with the Superbird that I also found thrift store, and the Maserati Ghibli that I actually bought off the pegs when this was actually a new series. So I don't know why I keep getting these the cars that aren't not the star cars, you know, from the movies, which is kind of normal because they're probably super expensive nowadays. But yeah, and last piece is also a Burago, and this would be, I believe, probably a 1/32nd scale, give or take. Yeah, 1/32. That's what's written on the base. It is not perfect, as it is missing one of these screws to attach the base to the rest of it, but we'll make do just for the showcase. Look at this, guys. 1/32nd scale Renault Clio RS. So we saw the Megane RS from Burago. This is the Clio, so the smaller one. Yeah, it's done in this tuning type of way. Got opening doors to reveal the very Jada-esque chrome pieces, chrome inserts for the, there's a little screen, there's a steering wheel, there's a shifter, two-tone seats with the harnesses. You probably see it better with the door closed, actually. There you go. Yeah, I really got to get this screw back together because everything's ill-fitting. Very, very 2000s chrome wheels, despite this being definitely a late 2010 car. We're talking about the model itself. You can take a peek at the in-car entertainment in the trunk. And yeah, that tiny little twin exhaust on the back there that you can barely see. It's got lens fronts and rears. It's got the wing on the top, little aerial. Yeah, pretty cool little car. And does it have? Yeah, it's got brakes behind the wheels. Kind of hard to see. It does have brakes behind those wheels that do not turn with the wheel, which makes it a little bit more realistic. And yeah, here's your base. Renault Clio Sport in 1/32 scale by Barago. So there you go. Those are my finds for this week. Hopefully you did enjoy checking them out with me. If you did, hit that like, leave a comment with your feedback. Of course, subscribe to be advised of when I upload next. And on that, I will let you go. Happy hunting. Stay safe out there. And I will catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.